Next on CTN News.
She went from being able to walk to completely not functioning whatsoever.
A Coon Rapids teen fighting a rare disease, how you can help. Plus, 3 people assaulted during an armed robbery at a convenience store. We'll have the latest on the search for a suspect. But first,
the officers are trained for this, but then these are things that are very rare.
a home invasion in Blaine ends with police shooting the intruder. That tops CTN News this Friday, January 23rd, 2015. Thanks for joining us. Coon Rapids officers actually responded to that call early Thursday morning because Blaine officers were tied up on other calls.
It was at the scene, police say. A man with a knife lunged at officers who then opened fire. The incident happened just before 4 a.m. in the 100 block of 95th Avenue, just east of University Avenue, near the Coon Rapids-Blaine border. CTN's Joe Nelson joins us now with more on what happened. Joe?
Stephen, Karen, this afternoon, authorities identified the suspect as 29-year-old Lamar Sullivan Armstrong of Minneapolis. Police say he had no apparent connection to the home or the people who live there.
Woke up and looked outside the window and just saw that there was like a whole bunch of police and it was just crowded and there was an ambulance.
Angela Parker noticed flashing lights outside her Blaine home early Thursday morning, waking up the neighborhood.
Around like 4:30, the neighbor across the street came over and told me that her daughter was pulled out of the car by a man and he had a knife, and she was just really freaked out by the situation.
All of a sudden, all kinds of cop cars were coming in. There was an ambulance that came in and a fire truck.
And hours later, police explained why another neighbor called 911.
Someone had broken into her home. She locked herself in the bedroom, and then also 911 information indicated that the suspect was fighting with another individual from that residence inside.
With Blaine police busy on other calls in other neighborhoods, dispatchers called Coon Rapids police to respond. Here on the 100 block of 92nd Avenue, officers met the boyfriend of the woman and the suspect carrying a knife.
The suspect then lunged at the officers and the homeowner. Law enforcement discharged service weapons, striking the suspect.
Blaine police say the man was taken to North Memorial Medical Center in Robbinsdale and is expected to survive.
It's a scary situation because usually they themselves or someone else are in danger and they have to resort to that level of force.
I'm thankful that the police got here, and it sounds like in a very timely manner. So thankful to the police officers that were here and that responded. We're very grateful to have them here serving and protecting us.
You have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. I just want to figure out who this guy is and just make sure this neighborhood's safe.
The Coon Rapids officers involved in the shooting have been identified as Adam Jacobson, a 9-year veteran of the department, and Hans Link, who has been with the department for 2 years. Both are placed on a routine administrative leave. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says one of the officers fired his gun and the other used his taser. An investigation by the BCA is ongoing. Stephen, Karen?
All right, so still a lot of unanswered questions
Yep,
here.
hope to find out more as soon as it comes out.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. The search continues for the man who robbed a convenience store and assaulted 3 people inside earlier this week. The robbery happened just before 10 a.m. Tuesday at Kathy's Dairy Home off of Hanson Boulevard. Police say the man entered the store, struck the clerk several times in the head with a gun, and attempted to tie her up with an electrical cord. 2 customers were also assaulted. One was hit in the head, the other pushed to the ground. The suspect took off on foot with money from the safe and cash register. Investigators are following up on leads, but so far no arrests have been made.
A warning from police this week after 2 residential burglaries in the middle of the night in the past month. In both cases, the homeowners left their garage doors open and the door leading into the house unlocked. The burglars entered the homes and stole property while the family slept inside. Police remind everyone to double check their garage doors every night. While on routine patrol, officers will attempt to close it if you leave it, and they'll leave you a note. They may even knock on your door in the middle of the night if something is preventing the garage from shutting properly.
10 people have applied to become the next city council representative in Ward 4. A vacancy was declared earlier this month after former Ward 4 Representative Jerry Cook was sworn in as mayor. The list is being narrowed to 5 candidates, all of whom will be interviewed by the city council next week. A new Ward 4 representative is expected to be sworn in at the February 3rd city council meeting.
And again, just like to thank the city for the 17 years that I had an opportunity to work here. 2.5 as manager, 7.5 as public service director, and 7 years as public works director. It's been a great run and I really enjoyed it.
A surprise announcement at Tuesday night's City Council meeting. At the end of the meeting, City Manager Steve Gatlin announced he's retiring effective May 29th. An outside search firm is expected to conduct a search for his replacement.
Water samples taken from the Mississippi River in southeastern Minnesota last summer show only a small presence of eDNA from invasive carp. The DNR says 500 water samples taken from pools near Winona and the Iowa border were tested for both bighead and silver carp. Just one sample tested positive for bighead carp. There's concern that invasive species could eventually make their way upstream and cause problems in lakes in northern Minnesota. Phase 2 of the renovation work at the Coon Rapids Dam is nearing completion. 4 new spillway gates are being installed on the Hennepin County side of the Mississippi River. That work will soon be finished and the cofferdam will be removed by early March. With new gates already installed on the Anoka County side of the river, normal flow rates should return this spring. The walkway, however, is expected to remain closed until the end of July. Well, you've probably never heard of Susac syndrome.
The parents of a Coon Rapids teenager hadn't either until doctors diagnosed her with the rare disease last summer. This week, CTN's Bao Vang talked with Abby Rodine's family about her battle and their need for help.
Scattered around Chris Rodine's home in Coon Rapids.
There you go, we got a Starbucks basket with all different sorts of coffee.
Gift baskets put together and collected by friends and family to be auctioned off at a benefit to raise money for his daughter, Abby Rodine, who battles a rare disease.
Abby's neurologist said Susac syndrome is something you read about in a medical journal, but you never see it.
Last July, after the rising star athlete got terribly sick, doctors at the Masonic Children's Hospital discovered she had Susac syndrome, an autoimmune disorder that caused Abby to have multiple strokes, hearing, and vision loss.
Her physical abilities are limited. She's emotionally roller coaster.
Fighting the disease has taken every bit of her energy. She's had to miss out on the first half of her freshman year at Coon Rapids High School. But just this week, she returned back to school for 2 hours a day. Treatment has included steroids, chemotherapy, and expensive shots of antibodies to help her fight her own immune system.
I have a good job. I have insurance, but 10% adds up quick. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Doctors also cannot explain why she's doing better in the last month, cutting down on her steroids and chemo. Abby will even be able to attend her own benefit on Saturday.
We just hope we keep getting better and keep rocking.
Bao Vang, CTN News.
Abby's benefit is this Saturday, January 24th at CR Sports Bar. For more information or to find out other ways you can support her family, log on to our website at ctnstudios.com.
The Element Teen Center is now officially under the direction and supervision of the city. Previously, the Teen Center located off Northdale Boulevard was run by the Anoka-Hennepin Community Education Department, but the city recently hired 2 part-time Teen Center leaders to oversee the program. The hours at the Teen Center have also been expanded. The center is now open Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. and Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. They are also working with a possible business partner for additional support. Still to come on CTN News, Snowflake Days kicks off this weekend.
Plus, a renovation project being planned at the Springbrook Nature Center. Also ahead, more changes for the restaurant operations at the Bunker Hills Golf Club. Details on new menu selections launched this week.
I have a dream.
And students at Anoka Ramsey Community College revisit the famous speech by Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Hello, young parents.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Smoking rates in Minnesota are now at their lowest level ever recorded in the state.
That according to results released this week by the Minnesota Department of Health. In the survey taken every 4 years, 14.4% of adults in Minnesota reported smoking cigarettes last year, down from 16.1% in 2010. Also, the smoking rate among young adults ages 18 to 24 dropped significantly from 21.8 to 15.3%. Researchers say the big tobacco tax increase in 2013 is influencing smoking behaviors. Nearly 63% of survey respondents say higher prices helped them quit.
The new year is ushering in a new menu at the Bar and Grill at Bunker Hills. This week, the golf course launched a new menu featuring a unique blend of fresh, from-scratch American cuisine for lunch and dinner. There's also a new bar, happy hour, and dessert menus. The changes come just 2 months after Morrissey Hospitality Companies took over the food and beverage operations at Bunker Hills. A new name for the operation is expected to be announced in the next 3 months.
The Springbrook Nature Center's volunteer program is getting a financial boost. The Springbrook Nature Center Foundation recently accepted a $10,000 grant from Xcel Energy. The money will be used to provide the necessary tools and equipment for grounds improvements, educational materials for volunteer interpreters, and software to manage and track volunteer hours. An open house will be held next month to discuss expansion and renovation plans for the Springbrook Nature Center. The open house will take place February 2nd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Springbrook. Members of the public can review the plans, make comments, and ask questions. Plans call for revitalizing the park's entrance and building to allow for expanded programming and accommodations for weddings and other events.
Students at Anoka Ramsey Community College marked the birthday of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this week. On Tuesday, students gathered in the Mosaic Center to watch the I Have a Dream speech from 1963. Afterwards, the center's director, Venorine Brown Boatswain, led the students in a discussion. They reviewed the speech and its relevance to what's happening in our country today.
I want them to understand that they do have power to make changes, and that hopefully that they will be motivated by seeing the speech. Many of them have seen the speech before because I'm sure in school that they've shown it. But what do they do with the information once they've seen the speech? Where do they take it? What do they do?
The students discussed how today's issues are more than just about race. They said that education is the key to overcoming the hurts of the past and the path to a brighter future for all.
The annual Snowflake Days celebration kicks off this weekend, and there's lots to see and do. On Saturday night, a benefit hockey game featuring former NHL stars and local first responders will take place at 5:20 p.m. at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. On January 29th through the 31st, the Mayor's Cup Simulator Golf Tournament returns to Bunker Hills. On January 31st, the Kids Medallion Hunt will take place at Al Flynn Park starting at 10:30 a.m. There's a hunt for girls ages 5 to 10, followed by a hunt for boys. Also January 31st, there will be a pickleball tournament starting at 10:30 a.m. at Coon Rapids High School. Later in the day, a community sock hop will take place from 4 to 6 p.m. at Eisenhower Elementary School. And on February 1st, an all-you-can-eat Belgian waffle breakfast will be served from 8 a.m. to noon at the Coon Rapids American Legion. There are a lot more events. You can check them all out by going over to CTN Info, Channel 14.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, Jennifer Lopez stars in a new thriller out in theaters this weekend. Howie Shapiro has a preview of that and more in this week's Now Showing.
Pull it out, baby.
I got it.
And you are?
Noah. I'm staying next door with my uncle.
The Boy Next Door. Shortly after a divorce, a woman falls for a younger man who moved in across the street, though their torrid affair takes an obsessive and dangerous turn.
Stay away from me! And stay away from my son!
I am Lord Charlie Mordecai, respected by all who know me slightly.
Excellent shot, sir!
Man down! Mordecai. Art dealer Charles Mordecai searches for a stolen painting that's reportedly linked to a lost bank account filled with Nazi gold.
Countless lives are at stake. And you would like me to find it? Precisely. What is in it for me, as they say? Do it for Queen and country. No. All right, Queen and country, travel and living expenses, reasonable overhead. Done.
Nobody ever goes into the dark forest.
I'm not afraid of them.
That's right. An army approaches. Sound the alarm.
Strange Magic. Inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream, a colorful cast of goblins, elves, fairies, and imps have a hilarious misadventure sparked by the battle over a powerful potion.
Bring me the prisoner. No eating!
Oh,
Brutus.
I'm Howie Shapiro, and that's what's showing.
Oh, as always, thank you, Howie. And before we go, we have a quick programming note to pass along.
We will not be doing a newscast next Friday, January 30th. Our next show will start airing on Friday, February 6th, so be sure to join us then.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks.